All right, so basic supply and demand, or support and resistance. Boom, we got a resistance zone right here. So all support and resistance is a key level or area that price got rejected at. So right here we got resistance level. Actually, let me make it clear. Right here we got support level. So that's the super basics of how to point out support and resistance. Boom. It doesn't take that long to figure that part out. But how do we use it to understand when price might understand how to forecast future price? So let's say I'm trading right, and we got a resistance level right here. That means whenever price gets around this area, I think that there's a pretty good chance that the price is going to reverse. Same with like right here, right? When price gets to this area, there's a pretty good chance that it might reverse. It doesn't mean it's guaranteed to reverse. Nothing's ever guaranteed in trading. And you always have to remember that. But there's a chance that it will reverse or get rejected and get respected. So how do we use it to trade? I mean, if we got an area right here, then I mean, one way you could do it is once it gets here, I could just sell. As soon as it gets here, I could just sell. But the thing is, when you're looking at any type of basic analysis or way of analyzing and trading, you have to understand that everything is a probability and it's not guaranteed to work out. So, you know, this could have easily came up to this area and just went straight through and just kept going higher forever. Like, we don't know that, but it happened to come back down. So whenever you're using something, you always have to combine it with something else. So if, let's say we're using support and resistance, right? Then you have to understand that support and resistance is just one way of looking at the market. One basic tool of looking at the market. You have to combine it with many other things to really be sure. I never just look at one thing and only use one tool and then like, oh, it's gonna reverse. Nah, that never works in trading. You gotta be as confident as possible, because if you're risking your own money, then you want to make sure that you're not gonna lose. But you have to also understand that it might not work. That trade might not work out. So you have to be able to be careful about it and use multiple confluences. So let's say this right here is support resistance. So if I was trading this and I was like, oh, okay, it's going to come down, then I would use multiple confluences. Okay, so we have a resistance zone right here. On top of that, we have a quarter level right here at 0.69 right here. On top of that, you know, I might throw some moving averages on it and scale it down to the smaller time frame. Be like, okay, is it overbought? You know, are the moving averages stretched out, and do I think that they're gonna reverse? You know, right here. What do I think is gonna happen? So like, you have to make sure that whatever tool of analyzing the market that you're using in trading, you combine it with something else. All right, so let's just do a walkthrough of support and resistance and practice. All right, boom, what do we have right here? Support level, resistance level right here that got broken through and then came down and got rejected and became a support level. We got another resistance level right here. You got, you know, a mini support level right here. We got another support level right here. You got a resistance level right here. You got resistance level right here. You got support level right here. So, you know, you don't have to be a genius to figure out how to draw and spot support and resistance. So that's is really easy. The hard part is combining with other confluences and making a forecast based on multiple confluences and not just one. Another way to break down support and resistance zones. Let's go back to this example right here, right? So we got a pretty solid resistance zone right here. On the bigger time frames, right? Okay, so let's go on the smaller time frames. How can we use it on the smaller time frames? I mean, on the 1 hour it looks pretty consistent with the 4 hour and bigger time frame, right? But let's go on a smaller time frame. See how price moved on the smaller time frames. On here we got another mini resistance level right here, and then we also got a mini support level right here. So one way to use support and resistance: mark the support and resistance zones on the larger time frame, zoom in on the smaller time frame, and then see what happens. You got another resistance and support level right here. So one way we could use it is say that, okay, if it breaks this support level, that I can get in for a sell trade. Boom, look what happened. Broke the sell level, the support level, and then it went down. So that's one way you could trade that. And then another is, look at this resistance level. If it broke this resistance level, I could buy it up and say that if it breaks this resistance level, it's going to go higher. And I could have did that. But it decided to respect this resistance level on the bigger time frame and the smaller time frame, and then break down and then break the support level and then keep coming down. And then it came down, used the support level as a resistance level, and then kept selling off. So that's how you can break it down on multiple time frames. And you should always break it down on multiple time frames. You should never use it just on one time frame. Use it on as many time frames as possible that give you confidence that you are right, that it's going to break a support or resistance level. Okay, so here's another example. We could say that there is a support level right here / resistance level because it got rejected by these two areas, but then it got rejected as a support. It got rejected as a resistance, but it got rejected as a support right here. So I could say that this area is a potential support or resistance level, and it's a key zone, right? So we could trade that, and if this price came down here, I could potentially draw a mini support level over here, and then if it came down, I could try to box it in on a smaller time zone, and if it broke that mini resistance like it did in that other example, then I could say, oh, it's going to go higher, so I could buy it up and go along and buy some contracts and go higher. Okay, well, what about like here? There's another example. There's a support level that got broken and got rejected. So what do we see? We could have said that if it breaks this support level, we sell it down. Came down, rejected, or got broken, got rejected, and it's coming back down again. And I would say that it's probably going to keep falling because it respected this area. But that's just based on one support and resistance tool. If I was really trading it, I would add in a bunch of other confluences like Fibonacci, moving averages, quarter key levels, candlestick analysis on the higher time frames, stuff like that. So that is how you can use support and resistance in your analysis and in your trading.